What's good, good people? Welcome back again to another podcast presentation of Yosef's 2 Cents. I'm your man, Yosef X, and tonight I want to discuss something that men and women really just don't seem to understand, because they keep asking the same question over and over and over and over again. And it's being asked on both sides. Why is it men don't take women seriously anymore? That's the question that's being raised. And once again, I'm going to break this down as scientifically and as elementary as I possibly can. So, unwind, relax, and let us do what we always do, and that is sit down and reason together. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in a few moments so we can discuss this. And maybe, just maybe, after tonight, people will start acting accordingly. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a moment. All right, y'all. Welcome back to another podcast presentation of Yosef's 2 Cents. I'm your man, Yosef X. And I hope that you have had a beautiful and fantastic, very blessed and productive Sunday afternoon. And I hope you are also having a peaceful and restful Sunday evening. Good evening to all of my loyal followers and listeners. I appreciate you for joining me again. Brother Sam, Brother Barron, Lady Marla, J. Cole. Good to have all of you with us here again. And thank you so much for making Yosef's 2 Cents a part of your Sunday evening routine. All right. Look, it's obvious to me, truly at this point, men and women just don't get it. Because this question continues to be raised over and over and over and over again. Why is it that men don't take women seriously? I mean, there's a myriad of reasons as to why. There's a myriad of reasons as to why. I don't know if when you ask the question, why men don't take women seriously, you think that the answers are going to change. I have news for you. At the present moment, the answers are not going to change at all. I mean, everybody's talking about relationships, right? But the fact is, you're not doing anything to prepare yourselves to enter into a relationship, whether it is a monogamous relationship or it's a polygamous one, or whether it's polygyny or polygamous. You don't have situational awareness. You don't have deductive reasoning skills. You don't have it. Now, I'm not trying to be brash and brazen, but you people are asking the question. I'm going to give you the answers. I'm not going to sugarcoat this for you. I'm going to give it to you as honest and as scientifically sound and as elementary sound as I possibly can. Now, you can take it or leave it alone afterwards. Okay? Now, it's both the men and the women, but you also have to keep in mind the kind of men and the kind of women that's asking the question. And it's mainly kleptogamists the males and females who are actually looking for a handout. And see, it's the kind of women that will gauge, and this is one of the reasons. It's the kind of women that's asking the questions as to why a man is not taking a woman seriously. You females are gauging how much respect you should give a man based on his occupation. That's what y'all are doing. And you all have been notorious for doing this for years. Brother James, Brother Walter, gentlemen, thank you for joining the fray. Happy to have you with us. And you're right, Brother Sam. And not only do they look like a clown, but a lot of them look like drag queens, my man. We gonna get into this, okay? We gonna get into all that. But when you gauge a man just like that ridiculously stupid Ebony Williams did, this is the end result. I am not condemning her for having a preference. That's not what's in question. What is in question is the fact that she turned her nose up at blue collar workers. Mind you, and some of these blue collar workers, they make 6 and 7 figures. They make 6 and 7 figures a year. That's the truth. So before anybody is going to call themselves going to turn their nose up at blue collar workers, the best thing for you to do is to slow your roll. Like for real, slow your roll. Because all this gauging a man as to how much respect you should give him based on his occupation, how he makes his living. That's one of the reasons why your narrow-minded asses is single right the hell now. Blue collar workers with blue collar jobs, they make good money. And not only do they make good money, guess what else? Guess what else? They have great benefits. And furthermore, they're not nowhere near in debt like some of your white collar workers are. Because some of your lawyers and some of your doctors, they're in heavy debt. I'm going to throw that out there too. Eric, what's going on, bro? Thanks for joining us tonight. Happy to have you with us. Thanks for joining the fray. Yeah, Nadia, look, I'm not trying to trigger anybody, but the fact is, when people keep asking the same question over and over and over and over and over and over again, right? And we still keep giving them the same answers. That's insanity. But see, here's the thing too. And I'm going to give you my top reasons as to why men are not taking women seriously. Contemporary women. Let me be more specific. Contemporary women. Y'all are not being taken seriously at all. I just gave you the first reason. But I want to dig a little deeper into that first reason, because that first reason that I gave, you're going to gauge a man as to how much respect you're going to give him based on his occupation. That's mental illness. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. Brother James says, I'm an essential worker as a truck driver. It's still a lot of who don't realize how important we are. If it wasn't for us, then they would have a very hard life for real, if they survived at all. Facts. Facts. I'm going to get into that too. I am. I'm going to get into all of this. J. Cole says, let the power go out for a week. Guess who they'll call to fix it? Exactly. Facts. No doubt about it. Facts. Point blank, period. Brother Sam says, these women don't know how to respect any man. They learned only disrespect from their mothers. And it's genetic too. It's genetic too. We're going to get into all that. We're going to get into all that. J. Cole says, I'm looking to get into landscaping in the next few weeks. It's not a bad idea. There's good money in landscaping. It is. Brother Walter says, that Ebony lady, that's Ebony Williams, can have a preference, but don't put people down because of what job they do. You've thought she should have learned from B. Simone when she said she would never date a 9-to-5er. It's mental illness, Brother Walter. It's mental illness. Brother Eric says lots of mental illness and carnal mindedness going around. We're going to get into all that. We going to get into all that. And you all know by now that when I'm speaking the truth, it's not just the truth that I'm speaking reality. And when it comes down to reality and somebody is triggered, you know I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about anybody getting angry. I'm going to give them the facts straight up. Brother Barron says, my employment position is part of welding and women hold the same jobs. There you go. There you go. I got a cousin in Louisiana that's been a welder for quite some time. So I know exactly where you're coming from, Brother Barron. I got a cousin right now. And she's been welding for a long time, making good money in Louisiana. And see, welding, that's not an easy job. Welding ain't for everybody. So for any man or any woman that's a welder, much respect to y'all. Because that's hard work. It's good money in it, but it's a lot of labor. But let me get back to what I need to say. All right. I'm gonna read this observation. I'm going to get back to what I need to say. Brother James says even automobiles, trains, and planes were shut down with no trucks. The stores would be empty. We're going to get into all that. And you're right. Brother Barron says not at all. Yeah. But look, since everybody or the majority of people, and notice that the majority of people that's always asking this are kleptogamists and toxic females. And the majority of them are chronically single. But since they want to ask the question again, okay, no problem. Let's get into it then. Let's get into it then. The first reason that men are not taking women seriously anymore is because of mental illness. And I'm not just talking about being, delusional and being narcissistic with a princess complex and being hypergamous and being online too much arguing with people that you've never seen before and chances are you will never meet. I'm talking about people that have been in relationships or have came out of relationships and they are still dealing by having the ill effects of that past relationship and is making their current partners suffer for the last partner's mistakes. Because a lot of you women, you are not healed. You are not healed. You are still hurt. You got trust issues, mad trust issues. You do. You think about yourself. You're selfish. You gaslight every single thing that a man does. You gaslight every single thing that a man does, that a man says. He can't talk to you. He can't reason with you. And when you want him to open himself up and to be more vulnerable to you, guess what? When he does that in the heat of an argument, you throw it back in his face. You use relationships not as a means to build dynasties and to leave legacies. You use relationships as your mnemonic device instead of going to a psychologist or a psychiatrist to get some emotional counseling to overcome the trauma that you suffered. Whether your ex-husband or your current husband is still abusing you, or whether you are still suffering from not having a father in the house. That's among your biggest problems. You didn't have fathers in your home. And if by chance you did have a father in the house, one or two things happen. One, you didn't listen to his wise counsel, or two, he was a deadbeat father, period. Now, before y'all go on this tangent about men doing the same thing, we're not talking about what the men are doing. That's next week. So you can save that for next week, period. Tonight, we talking about these toxic women. Next week, I'm going to get on the men's case. Because there's a lot of things the men need to work on themselves. And see, here's something else too. A lot of you women are not wife material. You're not. You're not wife material. Because if you were wife material, we wouldn't be having the divorce cases skyrocketing in this country. How the heck do you expect for a man to trust you when 80% of y'all, you initiate the damn divorce? You plotting the escape before you even get married, before you even say I do. You plotting the escape route. And like I said, that's next week. I'm going to get on that case next, but that's next week. But tonight, it's the women. Now, look, I'm going to say this respectfully. to all the women that's listening, if it don't apply, let it fly. But if it does apply to you and you're triggered by my words, then damn it, you need to put on your big girl panties. You need to put on them high heel pumps and wear them shoes. If the shoe fits, if the red pump fits, wear it and get your act together. Point blank, period. I'm not playing with y'all tonight. And I'm damn sure not going to play with y'all next week either. Not me. See, that's the problem. Responsibility is everybody's kryptonite. Everybody wants to run away from responsibility, especially when it comes down to themselves. Instead of bettering yourself, you want to use somebody else to hide from the skeletons in your own closet. You can get mad at me all you want. You know full well I don't care. Some of you women are still traumatized from your past relationships. Then you're hopping in and out of relationships months at a time. 1 year, 2 years, 3, and still haven't gotten yourself any counseling. Why? Because you're in denial. You're in denial about yourself. You see, when you struggle with yourself, you're going to struggle in every other arena of your life. See, a lot of you are struggling with yourselves. You don't know who you are. There's a part of you that shuns away from you. And then another reason why men ain't taking your asses seriously, you don't fucking listen. You don't fucking listen. And instead of you listening, see, this is how you think. You think your feelings is facts. And you think facts are your feelings. And your feelings ain't facts, girl, woman. Your feelings ain't facts. A man can't even give you constructive criticism. You get all in your little feelings. You hurt. You mad. Making it sound like the man hates you. Man don't hate you. He's trying to help you. He's trying to do something that your father failed to do for you when you were growing up as a little girl. And that is tell you the truth about certain things, about certain people. And then another problem a lot of you women have is this. You ain't used to a man telling your asses no. You hate when a man tells your asses no. Y'all been you've become accustomed to being coddled and cuddled, and everything has been yes, and everything has been presented to you on a silver platter. But you got men that's telling your asses no, and you can't handle it. That's called the princess complex. Oh, we're going to get into this tonight. We're going to get into this tonight. I'm going to need for all of y'all that's listening, like the video, share the video, tag your family and your friends. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the Yosef Isaiah Benjamin Network. And if you are getting something out of this, donate to our cause. My Cash App ID is $hidden one truth. That's $hidden one truth. Support the show. And see, I'm also telling y'all something that your preachers, your bishops, your rabbis, your imams, they're not going to tell you this. You know why? Because they are part of the damn problem also. They've been coddling you and cuddling you emotionally and mentally because they don't want your asses mad at them. Me, all my give a dams are gone. See, the majority of females are grown little girls that have yet to develop mentally and emotionally because you got the disposition of a high school teenager. That's right. That's right. Your mental illness comes from past traumas. Your mental illness comes from the fact that you've been listening to the wrong people. And the biggest problem is that you have been drinking this feminist Kool-Aid for I don't know how long. You've been preaching this nonsense about women's liberation. You want to be liberated. No, you all have gotten away with doing so much shit to men. You weren't expecting a pushback. For many decades, you have not been getting a pushback until now because men have had their backs pushed against the wall because of your disrespect and your gaslighting. And the man has put his foot down and they're starting to say, fuck you. This shit is going to stop. You know, deep down in your heart, I'm telling you all the truth. I haven't ignored your observations. I'm not ignoring your observations, but I'm getting all this out of my system. I'm getting it all out of my system. And see, some of you women, a lot of you women, and see, I ain't just talking about black women. I ain't just talking about black women. I'm not just talking about white women. I'm not just talking about Latinas, Asians, Indians, Jamaicans, Chinese, Japanese. I'm talking to all. I'm not just talking about one specific nationality. I'm not talking to just one demographic, one specific demographic. Oh, no. I'm addressing all of you because your ways are fucked up. And the reason why your ways are fucked up is because you're fucked up in the head. It's the truth. I don't care if you are married. I don't care if you are engaged to be married. I don't care if you are just dating. It's the truth. Y'all support this show. My Cash App ID is $hidden one truth. I'm not playing with y'all tonight. You're going to get this work. See, a lot of you women, y'all been saying you want a man, but you don't want no man. You've been wanting just a simple pet wallet. You've been wanting a doormat. You've been wanting a male that you can control. And when you run across a man you can't control because he won't allow himself to be controlled, then you become intimidated. And then when you look at a woman like Lady Marla, you hate her guts. Why do you hate a woman like Lady Marla so much? Because she's living the life that you all are not living. And then to make it so bad, you don't even try to hide the hatred. It's obvious. It's in plain view. It's in plain sight. But Marla ain't the only one that y'all hate. You hate women like Mrs. Starr Parham. You hate women like Mrs. Danica Marie. You hate women like the Crimson Cure. You hate women that are worth their salt. You hate women that's about their business. You hate women that are married, that are in healthy and happy marriages and relationships. And instead of them living the kind of life that you want, you wish the shoes was in, you wish that you were wearing the shoes that those women that I named are wearing instead of you. See? You hate women like that. Here's another one that you, another so-called pick me. Nadia, Brother Barron's wife. Y'all hate her too. Yeah, you do. Y'all hate her too. You know why y'all hate her? Because once again, it's the same reason why you hate all the rest of them. She's living the life that you've always wanted to live and you ain't living it, and that pisses you off. That burns your asses up. That's facts for you. Because the women that I named, they are the women that's in your eyes. They're the virtuous ones. They got everything you want, and you ain't got it. And see, you women also, let me tell y'all this, especially when y'all were younger. Oh yeah, when y'all were younger, you were yesterday's freaks and you've turned into today's prudes, because today's prudes are yesterday's freaks. Y'all were at Freaknik. And see, some of y'all are so scared to death because that documentary about Freaknik is coming out soon too. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Here's something else too. Some of y'all got the nerve and the audacity to try and sue Hulu because they are presenting this documentary. And you know who one of the executive producers of this documentary is? Everybody's favorite uncle, Uncle Luke, the rapper. Uncle Luke is one of the executive producers of this Hulu documentary that's coming out soon. Y'all are so scared to death. But peep this. First off, this is what y'all got to understand. And I'm going to read your observations in a moment. The Freaknik videos were all shot in public. The law states that there can be no expectation or exception of privacy in public. The videos and the pictures of people or anything being done in public is in the public domain and can be used and or shown on any form of social media without a release from anybody being shown. Any privacy claims or lawsuits that's being filed will fail in the court of law. Hulu knows this, and their corporate lawyers have already signed off on the film being completely legal. So suing ain't gonna do you no bit of good. And see, the fact is, your children, they're the byproducts of Freaknik. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. Yeah. And see, here's the thing. Some of you all are running off at your mouths talking about Freaknik was not a safe place for women. Let me tell y'all something. Nobody put a gun to your damn heads and force you to pop that pussy. Nobody put a gun to your head and forced you to pop that pussy and doing God knows whatever else you were doing in public. Nobody put a gun to your head. The nerve and the audacity of you to want civility at the craziest of all places. It was called Freaknik. What the hell do you expect was going to happen? You didn't even think to look at the type of dudes that would attend this type of freaky ass event. It was an open exhibitionist orgy. Besides, what type of woman would attend these exhibitionist orgies anyway? I tell you. Remember what I said a few seconds ago. Yesterday's freaks are today's prudes. And who are today's prudes that was yesterday's freaks? Pastors' wives, judges, principals, lawyers, doctors, teachers. Today's prudes were yesterday's freaks to the dregs in their youth. And some unsuspecting fool is in love with a woman that attended Freaknik. Because what did they think happened at night with these very same men? See, these are the types of chicks that wanted to play slut for cash, but they don't want to be called out for that. Am I lying? Am I lying? And they're complaining about Freaknik wasn't a safe place for women. Please. See, these are the kinds of women, these are the same kinds of females that was talking this bullshit about men all these years. Talking about they don't need no man. They're young and strong and independent. They don't need no man. How you feel now, Mrs. Preacher? Huh? You deacon so and you deacon so and so's wife. You archbishop so and so's wife now. But you were popping that pussy about 25 years ago, weren't you? 25, 30 years ago, weren't you? Uh-huh. And see, that's another reason why a lot of men ain't taking your asses seriously. They know good and hell well that because this Freaknik documentary's coming out, your ass is gonna be exposed. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let me tell you something. Some preacher's wife, some deacon's wife, some dude's wife was at Freaknik, and she had a mouthful of wangamathang. I'm telling you. She was too busy swallowing another man's kid. Yo, I hope Hulu has a commercial. Yeah, I do. When they presented that Freaknik documentary, I hope they have a commercial. I hope the commercial goes something like this. Don't bust that nut yet. Freaknik. We'll be right back. I hope it happens. I hope something like that happens. And deep down inside, y'all want that to happen too. Am I lying? I hear that commercial now. Don't bust that nut yet. Freaknik. We'll be right back after these messages. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. See, they so scared to death. They scared to death because they past is coming back to haunt them. The very same ones. The very same ones that was talking all that yin yang, talking all that ish. They didn't think that all this yin yang was going to happen. Nah, they didn't think that. But y'all tripping me out with these comments, bro. Let me. Listen. Y'all, man, I don't open a can of worms up tonight, man. Oh Lord. But am I lying though? Am I BSing you? I know it's rough. I know it's rough. This is why I always have told y'all, you got to pay attention to the kind of people that says things. You got to pay attention. You got to pay attention to your audience. You got to pay attention to who's saying what. You ain't overlooking the man's feelings now, is you? You were talking all that smack for a long time. You were thinking that your feelings was facts because you deceived yourself into thinking your feeling was facts. You thought my feeling guides me over logic because my feelings is logic. Afraid not. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you. I know it's rough. I know my commentary is not squeaky clean tonight, but damn it, it's got to be. I got to tell the truth. And since some people don't appreciate the language of a scholar, I got to kind of mix it up between slinging mud and being a scholar. Listen, y'all wanted to know the reason why men ain't taking your asses seriously. I'm giving y'all straight up facts. Y'all support the show. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the Yosef Isaiah Benjamin Network. Like the video, share the video, tag your family and your friends, and maybe they won't get triggered. Support the show. My Cash App ID is $Hidden1Truth. That's $Hidden1Truth. All right. Now I'm going to highlight as many of these observations as I possibly can, because I know it's a great deal of them. And like I said, I wasn't ignoring y'all, but I had to get all this crap off my chest, man. J. Cole says, these women look down on even Uber drivers or Amazon delivery drivers, yet they depend on Uber to take their butts to Dirty Dick Rodney's house for Hot Girl Summer, or Amazon to deliver their toys to satisfy themselves. Facts, bro. Facts. Facts. Brother Barron says, I know women that encourage the man and he still acts reckless. Listen, we're going to get into all that next week. I'm going to get on the men's cases next week. You spoke the truth in that, but we're going to get into that next week. Brother James says, yep, and they are more likely to cheat and spread STDs. Listen, I'm glad you said that, because here's a scientific fact that's known. It's been said that over 75% cases of throat cancer comes from a man having oral sex with a woman. That means she had the yipe when he was swallowing her bodily fluids and her diseased meow mix. Brother Eric says, facts. Brother Sam says, many women are out of control. And these are the women that I'm addressing tonight. These are the women that I'm addressing tonight. Yeah, man, these are facts. These are facts. I'm not fabricating nothing. Brother Eric says, of course, it's time for men to stop taking women more seriously than they take themselves, i.e., stop putting the vagina on a pedestal like it's the almighty. I agree, Brother Eric. I agree. J. Cole says, as long as the men enable their behavior, these women will never change. Simps are a virus. Yo, some of these simps are starting to wake up, though. It took their asses long enough, but they starting to wake up. And they are a virus. And for the simps that's not gonna wake up, they're gonna suffer the same fate as a lot of these women are. Just watch. James family says, I work with all men, and some of their conversations be crazy. This one woman brings her man lunch every day and he talks down on her. I don't even entertain that type of childish acts. Yo, we gonna get into all that next week. Because when you have a woman that brings a man lunch every day, do you know how rare that is? And see, when she's doing that for that man and he's talking down to her, she has low self-esteem. She don't have no self-respect at all. She doesn't. Point blank, period. Brother Walter says grown women with the Disney complex and daddy issues. Man, listen. You heard my trash talking self earlier. That's among their biggest problem. They haven't grown up mentally and emotionally because their psychological and their emotional apparatus is undeveloped, is underdeveloped. I think they stopped developing right around 12 or 13 mentally and emotionally. And I'm not trying to cap either. These are some passages of scripture. Y'all hear me? Okay. These are some passages of scripture that Brother James has presented to us. Yeah. Yeah. Brother Sam says, and the man that's dating or married to that woman is no better. We gonna get into all that. We gonna get into all that. We gonna get into all that. Sister Nadia, I apologize. But you know what though? Here's the thing. I am counseling. I'm giving some consultation tonight. But I'm addressing females that is unlike yourself and is unlike your sister Marla. I'm addressing toxic women because they keep asking the question, why don't men take women seriously? Translation, why can't I find a fool that's going to be my doormat? Brother James says they hate and are jealous of virtuous women instead of being virtuous women themselves. That's utter stupidity. Of course. Of course. Hot girl summer ain't looking so hot this summer because a lot of these heifers are going to be looking like a black summer's night, especially when that doggone Freaknik documentary come out too. I'm telling you. Hot girl summer looking like a black summer's night because it's going to be broke girl summer. Brother James says the singles mixer last summer is proof that a lot of us men have turned our backs on modern forbidden women. It's going to be more to come. It's going to be some more to come. J. Cole says congresswomen, lawyers, CEOs, and devoted housewives who used to be escorts or about to be exposed. Man, listen. You said a mouthful because I'm going to tell you something. There's going to be, you think the percentage of divorces is high now, it's going to skyrocket after this. And I'm not saying that with a whole lot of glee. I'm saying it because it's a lot of truth. Yeah, Brother Walter, freak Nick babies. Freak Nick babies. Freak Nick babies. That's right. Freak Nick babies. Yeah, man, they're the byproducts of Freaknik. They are. Yesterday's sluts are today's prudes. I'm telling you. Yeah, and a lot of them have become milfs and cougars, i.e., washed up bar sluts. And see, this is the reason why they don't want people speaking on this. They listen, brother Walter, you have no idea. Somebody's wife was working on that job. Yeah, they were working on their jawbone, all right. They were too busy swallowing another man's kid. Now, brother J. Cole, look, we all know that ain't about to happen. We all know that ain't about to happen. You may have a few, you may have one or two that may confess to their husband, but I'm gonna tell you something. They ain't about to do that. They're gonna do everything they can to see that this don't happen. Yeah, even the cops, they were getting some at Freaknik. Yeah, they were. They were. Yes, they were. Yeah, you better put in the headphones. Yeah, they better put on the headphones. Yeah, you right, Sam. You brother Sam, you better put on them headsets. Don't bust that nut yet. Freaknik. We'll be right back. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, they had donuts and they were busting nuts too. They sure were, brother Walter. They needed a break and they chose the freaks over don't. They got donuts and they busted nuts too. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Yeah, you're right, Naughty. This podcast ain't for virgin ears. Not tonight. It's not. Not tonight. It's not. You ain't lying about that. But you're right. It's got to be said, man. It's got to be said. It's got to be said. It's got to be said. J. Cole said instead of Dunkin' Donuts, cops were doing cream pies at Freakniks. Today's sergeant was yesterday's patrolman. Yes, you ain't lying. You ain't lying. And that song by Michael Jackson was being played at Freaknik. Don't stop till you get a nut. I mean, get enough. Your alarm just detected some tripping. Man. Woo-wee. One of my favorite phrases is, if they brings the stupidity, then I got the sarcasm. Man, you better bring it. Oh, I'm telling you. Brother James continues, if the truth is, if it wasn't for us men, then women would not have a purpose to begin with. Just saying. Yeah, that's what it is. They got daddy issues. And then you know something else too. You know what? Let me address this right quick. A lot of them do have daddy issues because their father wasn't there. But let's dig a little deeper in that. A lot of these women had fathers, but they probably were too damn hard-headed And if they were hard-headed because their father was teaching them right, or the father was a cream puff. Think about it. Brother James says she is probably paying for the men she hurt in the past before she got married. I don't know if she's paying for it right now or not, but one thing is for certain. Guess what? She gonna pay for it. Brother Sam said, I'm going to recruit women like boot camp. God. Lord. Brother James says, sometimes you have to remove the scab from a wound in order for it to heal. And listen. Listen, boy. Listen, boy. Man, if Kevin Samuels was alive, man, he would have a fucking field day. He would. He would have an absolute field day with this. He would. He would have an absolute field day. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He would have an absolute field day. He would have an absolute field day with this. Oh, my. Listen. He would have an absolute field day with this. Y'all know I ain't lying. He would have a field day with this. But I'm going to tell you something. YouTubers like Minister Jap, you know he having a field day. I know he is. He's having a field day with this. Minister Jap is straight no chaser. I don't. Okay. He is going to have, if he's not having a field day with this, he is. He's about to. All the rest of these YouTube, man, look. Yep, the cussing pastor too. Yes, sir. The cussing pastor. That's right. Sure is. That's right. That's right. That's right. But see, a lot of people have argued that when it comes down to this Freaknik documentary that's coming out, guess what? It's called karma. Because a lot of these females are starting to reap what they have sown. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But let me say this before we get on out of here, because I'm not going to hold y'all much longer. The question is, why men don't take women seriously anymore? It's because of mental illness. It's because of them being sexually promiscuous. It's because of this feminist manifesto. They talking about they wanted to be liberated now. He didn't want no liberation. You just wanted to do shit. You wanted to do your little dirt and get the hell away with it. But like the ancestors used to always say, you may get by, but you won't get away. Your ass ain't getting away from this. And that's facts. Your asses are not going to get away with this. You have gotten by for decades. For decades, you gotten away. You gotten by with it. But you ain't getting away with this. Oh, Brother Barron and J. Cole, let me say this, right? Let me acknowledge your observations right quick where it says that's where a lot of the STDs came from. Yeah, man. And see, let me also say this. The era of Freaknik took place during the 80s and the 90s. Because let me remind you of something. In 1991, a census was taken about abortions. 1,300 black babies in the black community was aborted a day in 1991. That was also during the period of Freaknik too. I think that's one of the reasons why it was such an alarming high number. Them hoes was getting knocked up at Freaknik, and they used the abortion clinics, like it was birth control pills. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Think about it. 1991, right? 1991, 1,300 aborted babies a day in the melanated community alone. Freaknik initially was started in 1982 at a HBCU or HBCUs, plural, in Atlanta, Georgia. It started off as a family friendly event that was hosted and sponsored by HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities, as well as a seminary. A seminary. Dum da dum dum. Dum da dum dum dum. Dum da dum dum. Dum da dum dum dum. J. Cole, you are full. I can imagine at the dinner table some young kid watching Hulu and dudes like, "Mommy, is that you dancing to top that dancing to pop that Tootsie Roll?" Oh boy. Yo. Oh boy. But this is what happens. This is what's going on. See, they have no, man, look. More and more men are going to walk away. More and more men are going to walk away from all of this? Because toxic females and simps, they've turned this beautiful institution called marriage into a funeral with cake. That's what happened. This is what's happening. This is what's going on right now. See? It is 55 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. You know, the Yosef X of 2017 and 2018, he showed up tonight. Let me tell you. He showed up. Oh, boy. Whew. I'm telling you. Yeah, you're right. I did. Yosef X of 2017, 2018. He showed up tonight. And see, Naughty, you met me at the tail end of it. When I was in the process of trying to calm down. That's when you met me. I hadn't calmed down completely yet. I was trying to, but I hadn't reached this level of maturity that I've reached yet. I was working on it. Lord have mercy. Listen, I want to make mention of a few more things, and we out of here. To all of the toxic females and your henchmen, these simps. Let me say this. But before I do, let me ask y'all a question. If tonight's podcast reminded you of how I used to be, put a 1 in the chat, in the comment thread. Because I haven't been this outrageous in a long ass time. And see, one thing about me is this. I didn't even know that I was going to be this outrageous tonight. Because here's the thing. I knew exactly what I was going to talk about. I knew my subject. I knew my thesis. I just didn't know how in the world I was going to come out and deliver it. Because 2017, 2018, boy, I was outrageous. I was worse then than I am now. Yeah, that's right, brother Sam. You didn't know me back then, but J. Cole did, and brother Barron and his wife, they were meeting. We had just met when I was trying to calm down, but they know how I used to be. They knew exactly how I used to be. I'm trying to calm down. Because I know how I was. I know how bad I used to be. But let me say this. And like I said, we gonna get on out of here because it's 9 o'clock now. Let me say this and we out of here. These are my closing arguments. Honestly, Brother Barron, I didn't know if we were going to make it either, to be honest. I'm being honest. I didn't even know if we were going to make it. But let me say this. The reality is this. A lot of you females, y'all have been hoodwinked. Y'all been had. Y'all have been bamboozled. You've been bamboozled because of you listening to this feminist rhetoric. That's first thing. And then you listening to the lyrics of these entertainers after they get through performing and entertaining y'all, they going back home to their husbands and their wives. Meanwhile, you making their pockets fatter. And they going home to their healthy relationships and marriages. It's the truth. Real talk. This is why I keep reiterating. Especially on social media. This is for entertainment purposes only. But in the process of y'all being entertained, you have to understand that you also have to be educated. So when you're educated and entertained, my homeboy Juan Rich, shout out to you, big homie, who we had on the podcast 2 weeks ago, he told me, bro, you got to learn to edutain. You got to learn to edutain people because people don't want to be educated. They want to be entertained. But in the process of you educating them, find a way to edutain them, educating and entertaining them simultaneously. And see, for you women, you females, look, a lot of y'all have been acting out of hurt, out of pain. See, a lot of you women, you all are what I want to borrow a line from one of Tyler Perry's movies with Whoopi Goldberg, Tika Sumpter. See, a lot of you women are emotional hoarders. You're emotional gypsies. You're emotional hoarders. You know why you're an emotional hoarder? Because you all have not let go of the pains of your past. And that is another self-destructive, self-sabotaging mechanism, being promiscuous. A lot of y'all were sexually violated as children. That's traumatic by itself. Some of y'all were beaten by your husbands. Some of your husbands was not only beating on you, but they were being unfaithful to you, and they caused you to get and contract an STD. So when you finally did get the strength and the courage to get away from that toxicity, you were delivered, but you were still damaged. And you're still damaged because you failed to get the necessary psychological and emotional treatment. Now that's facts. And if you weren't being promiscuous, you became a drug addict. You became an alcoholic. You literally, you became a woman of pleasure. You became a woman of pleasure, of leisure. And that pain that y'all have been hoarding around for so many years, it's affected every arena of your life. You're not healed. And you've been engaging in perpetual self-destructing activity. Y'all really need to get yourselves some help. Stop being in denial about your hurt. That's why a man is not going to ever commit to you, because he sees things in yourself that you are in denial about yourself about. You'll be surprised to know how much a man really knows how you think and how you operate. You are the reason why that man refuses to go any further with you. You are. You damaged. You jacked up. You all effed up. You effed up for real. For real, for real. You effed up. And a man's been telling you, you need to get some help. You need to get some help. But you talking about, I don't need no help. This is not healthy. You talking about, this is how I am. This is how I am, and you need to accept me. That man ain't going to accept your ass for shit. He's not going to accept you. That's why a man is not going to commit to you. That's one of the many reasons why a man is not going to commit to you. He's not going to do it. You can forget it. That man ain't going to commit to you. That man is not going to commit to you at all. It ain't happening. Talking about that's how you are. You better grow, you better wake your ass up. A man is not going to ever take your asses seriously until you start taking yourself seriously. And this is how you take yourself seriously. You dismiss all of the rhetoric that you've been listening to. Stop listening to these loser ass feminists that have penis envy. Get rid of them and change your ecology, change your environment. And not only do you need to change your ecology, but you need to improve on your epigenetics too. You got to change your epigenetics, because everything you read, everything you listen to, it affects you epigenetically, literally extracting or changing or mutating your DNA without it actually touching you. A man knows a woman better than a woman knows herself in a lot of instances, because that man is understanding the nature of a woman. Now, when a man understands the nature of a woman, one or two things happen. One or two things happen. Number one, when he understands you, he'll love you even harder. Or two, he'll understand you and he'll distance himself from your ass. Because that's exactly what's going on right now. Thank you, Brother Barron. I appreciate your compliment. Thank you. A man knows a woman, especially if it's a woman that he's in a relationship with. He knows, he sees the light and he sees the darkness within her. And then another thing also is that a lot of you women, a lot of you females, while it's true the man should protect the woman, but only if it's in a marriage or engagement to be married, or in a relationship. You doing things ass backward for so long. Too long. Too long. Too long, bro. I've been doing things backward. So this is why I bring this up to y'all tonight. Not to tear you down, but to open your eyes. Y'all better start looking at yourselves more deeply. Because a lot of you women that's in relationships right now, that's in marriages, Freaknik is not going to be the reason why you lose that man, you lose your marriage, you lose your relationship, the engagement's called off. It's going to be you, yeah. But it's also going to be because of your undiagnosed mental disorders, your emotional disorders, because you failed to get the necessary treatment. And ain't nobody gonna take your asses seriously. And as far as your henchmen and your watchdogs are concerned, we all know for a fact you don't have any respect for them, because they always gonna be kissing your behind in hopes that you sleep with them. But we all know you ain't about to sleep with them. You ain't about to sleep with them at all. Nope, not at all. Nope. It takes a grown woman to look at herself and to put aside foolish pride. And see, more and more men, especially if they are men of faith and they're believers, they praying your behinds out their life. That's facts. They praying you. They are literally praying you out of their life. They're not praying for you. They're praying about you. You have become a burden to them. You have become an emotional burden to them. When they first met you, their beard was solid black with a touch of gray. Now it's full-blown salt and pepper because you stressed their asses out. He walking away from you. He walking away from you. And when he did walk the hell away from you, you began a smear campaign. When he was telling your asses the truth about what was going on with you, you thought he was fucking lying to you. And then when he started lying to your ass, then you believe the damn lies like it's the truth. You a fool. You a fool. The biggest. I'm going to say this again, and I'm out of here. A man loves you, yes. But love don't hurt. And love damn sure don't stress a man out. But too many of y'all are too far gone anyway. And brothers that are in miserable relationships, let me tell you something. No matter how many times you try and talk to that female about the error of her ways, her ass ain't gonna listen to you. So the best thing for you to do is to let her ass go and go on about your business. Let her ass go. Walk the hell away from her. Even if it means you got to ghost her, so be it. And if you thinking that all the money that you do have from your private practices and law, or being a doctor, or being a business owner is going to solve every motherfucking thing, guess what? It ain't going to solve shit. It ain't solving nothing. If anything, it's going to get worse. Because you failed to take responsibility for yourself, because responsibility, you feel, is hate speech. You need to get some damn help for yourselves and grow the fuck up. Period. Yeah, man loves you. But we're also living in an era now where more and more men and their love for you are growing colder. And they understanding your ass, and they're growing indifferent towards your ass, because the opposite of love is indifference. It ain't hatred. It's indifference. And stop ignoring that quiet little voice that's telling you you need to listen. Stop hardening your hearts. Look deep within. Do the work. Do the labor to better yourself. Because nobody's going to do it for you. You got to do this yourself. Because if you don't take heed, that man is going to stop talking. That man is going to grow more distant from you. And guess what? He's just going to go up and just walk away from you. He may leave you a letter saying goodbye. He may leave you a long ass text message, or he just may leave your ass a long message on your machine. But either way it goes, if you don't get your act together, and if you don't start looking within yourself hard, that man is going to walk the fuck away from you. Now ask yourself, is that what I really want? Is that what I really, really want for myself? Or do I want to be somebody's wife? And a lot of y'all want to be somebody's wife. Because here's the thing. Men are the gatekeepers of marriage. And a lot of y'all want to be married more than you want to have sex. And the same ones of y'all that's been bragging your asses off talking about, I can sleep with any man I want. Yeah, but a man can marry anybody he wants. You can marry anybody that you can, if you can. That's the fucking difference. You going around talking about you can sleep with any man you want. Okay, fine. But the objective is to get married. And you want to be married more so than you want to have sex. Yeah, you women are the gatekeepers of sex, yeah, but we the gatekeepers of marriage. We can marry anybody we want to. What's up, big homie? Thanks for joining the fray. We about to get on out of here. Salute to you too, big homie. Appreciate you. Yeah, y'all the gatekeepers of sex, but men are the gatekeepers of marriage. And see, here's the deal. You women outnumber us men 3-1 or 4-1. There's a whole hell of a lot more of y'all than there is of us. And so what you need to do, you need to get rid of the princess complex. You need to get yourself some psychological and emotional help. You need to stop being online so much, arguing and bickering and snickering, going backwards and forwards with a complete stranger that you've never seen before, and you can get away with talking the shit that you don't have the courage to say to their fucking face. Get rid of the princess complex. Stop being so damn hypergamous. Stop showing lack of respect for a man. Stop overlooking that man's feelings. Stop being a liability and start learning how to be an asset. And stop letting your damn feelings guide you, because your feelings ain't fucking facts. Your feelings ain't facts. telling y'all, I'm warning y'all. You toxic women, you feminists, talking about you don't need no man. Your ass is gonna need a man real soon. Cause if winter ain't here yet, winter is on its way for you. Talking about you strong and independent, don't need no woman, don't need no man. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Talking about you don't need no man. That's bullshit. The kind of man you don't need is a weak, wimpish, two-faced, sorry ass dude. And the kind of man that you do need, you've been overlooking. And Ebony Williams, dumbass, is an example. I can respect the fact that a woman wants the best man she can get, but don't gauge on how much respect you put on a man based on his occupation, because a job is a job. And here's another problem with y'all. You already want a man that's already a finished product instead of growing with that man. You already want a finished product. That's another reason why a man ain't taking your asses seriously. It's the truth. Brothers, for y'all that's still listening to me, am I right? Am I telling these toxic women right? And these simps, they need to stop being so weak and wimpish. And grow some balls. Grow some motherfucking testicular fortitude and start saying the same thing that I've been saying and others of us have been saying also. I'm telling y'all. Better get yourselves together. Get it right. Get it straight. Because if you don't, these little funky ass attitudes that y'all be having, this resting bitch face expressions you've been having, guess what? That shit ain't gonna help your asses at all. That shit ain't gonna help y'all asses at all. It ain't gonna happen. It's gonna be your undoing. Period. Because the fact is this. Social media has become for the dregs of society. How the hell you gonna turn your nose up at a dude because he's a bus driver or he's a construction worker or a carpenter or a contractor? He's a blue collar worker. So I said before, these blue collar workers, man, they making 6 and 7 figures. They making 6 and 7 figures a year, and you turning your nose up at them. Who the fuck you think you are? Blue collar workers make this shit go round. Everybody from truck drivers, plumbers, welders, and other blue collar jobs. They make 6 and 7 figures a year, some of them. Good money. And on top of that, they ain't in debt like your asses is too. Because blue collar workers know how to manage their money. They're economically astute when it comes down to taking care of their money. You're gonna turn your nose up at somebody, and this broad gonna be talking about you wouldn't date a bus driver. Heifer, the same bus driver you turning the fuck down, turning your nose up at, could be the very same one, the same kind of man your ass has been looking for all your life. That's why your dumb ass is still single. Ebony, fuck out of here. Yo, I'm gonna share this with y'all too, and I'm out of here. I've held y'all long enough. I've been on this thing for going on 2 hours. Let me say this and I'm out of here. And the irony of this is a woman, right? A woman invented something called, I forget the name of it, but it has something to do with the delusional gauge, I think it's called. Meaning they gauge as to how many women have all of these unrealistic ass expectations on a man and what their chances are on getting the kind of man that they want. Do you know what that gauge presented? The percentage of how much of a chance that they do have? Guess what? 5%. The majority of women have a 5% chance of getting the kind of man that they have always wanted. 5 freaking percent. 5%. That's another reason why men ain't taking your asses seriously. Men ain't taking your asses seriously. You a grown ass little girl. You grown physically, but mentally and emotionally, you a little girl. You a child. That's why men ain't taking your asses seriously. And with that said, I rest my case. I'm done. Hold on. We're going to do something a little bit different tonight. I hope this helped y'all. I don't mean no harm. I got to be honest with y'all. There we go. There we go. Well, it's been a ball, but the clock on the wall says that's all for now. Y'all like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the Yosef Isaiah Benjamin Network. Like, share, and tag your family and your friends on Facebook. Support our show. Support the cause. Our Cash App ID is $Hidden1Truth. I'm Yosef X. All of that has been my 2 cents. I hope this helped y'all. Catch us next week. Because men, I gotta talk to you pussy ass simps now. I gotta talk to y'all now. And maybe you can grow some balls and get some testicular fortitude and stop being a pussyfoot simp. Until next time, I'm Yosef X. Y'all have a good one. Peace. I'm out.